There's no question that everyone here recognizes that traffic safety is important. And I guess I can say that I believe that as well. My name is David Wallace, and I'm the traffic safety guy. That's sort of my thing, I guess, is to deal with traffic safety issues. But we can all say traffic safety is important, but what are we doing about it at your work and at home to really make a difference and to really have an impact so that you are saving lives and saving money? And so what I want to do here for a few minutes is just talk a little bit about some options that you have as a company that you can do both. Basically, the 4 steps to creating a traffic safety culture. But 90% of the time, it's going to be human error. That's why it's a crash. It's not an accident. We can prevent these. You can prevent them at your home. You can prevent them in your company. And even more so, cause of death, for unintentional causes of death. From 5 to 25, the number 1 unintentional cause of death, motor vehicle crashes. From 25 on the rest of the years, the number 2 cause of death, motor vehicle crashes. So how do we change this whole economic thing? How do we change this culture and not focus on traffic safety, but a traffic safety culture? Well, the first step is leadership. It absolutely takes the top up to say, this matters. We're going to make a change here because I care about my employees and I want to save the company at the bottom line, the dollar there, the bottom dollar. We want to make a change here, and that's why. So there's 4 tips to get into it. The first one is educate. Now, who here does not know that you shouldn't drink too much and drive? Anyone not know that? Okay, there's a couple, but the vast majority of everybody here says they know that you shouldn't do that, right? So education, we've actually gotten some of that out there already. But we still haven't got success yet. We've been working on education for decades. The next step, though, is we get back to engage. Engage, it means getting the employees to buy into this. It means having that phrase for road safety, a 2-way street here. It means having the employees give you feedback. Talk about it. What's the issues? Have them basically get to the point where they can buy in on what you're talking about. The third is training. Education is great. Have to have it. The engagement's important. Critical. But if we don't learn how to do certain things, if we don't practice doing certain activities, there's a disconnect. It doesn't work. But how hard is it for all of us to put that phone and ignore it if it goes off? Right? We pull up to the stop light. Oh, I can just take a minute here and stop. There's no traffic. I can look real quick. And then the light changes. Start to go forward, not paying attention. No, the idea is to start practicing those behaviors and train on what to do so that you learn how to and practice how to change our ways. But it's also critically important that we monitor them to make sure they're following through with the changes. Are they following through? Because if we don't know when something's not being done, if we don't know that they're not following through, 1, the message isn't getting out, and 2, there's no impact to safety then. And that's why it's critically important here as well. Yes, companies, you have to monitor your employees if they're following what you've set out as your rules and policies, practices, whatever word you want to use. When they leave the company building there, and they drive out, do they have the seatbelt on? Something as simple as that. Someone watching to see if it happens. I know it sounds like scary stuff sometimes, But remember, these individuals, your employees, are driving with your company name. They're representing you when you go out there to talk about this. They're costing your company money. And so as you're working and looking at this plan of how are you going to change your company into a traffic safety culture, what you want to look at is how do you recognize the employees that are doing it right, as well as have consequence for the ones that are not doing it right, that are making the mistakes, are not putting the seatbelt on, are using the cell phone when they're not supposed to be. You want both incentives and sanctions. And that's what's then going to say, this matters. This is something we're doing and we want it different now. And here's why. Of course, those are the 4 steps. If this is something that you can do to save the lives of your employees, to protect them from injuries, to reduce the number of fatalities and injuries that happen at your company and your workplace, why aren't we doing it now? Why aren't we changing the culture now and making a difference to those of us, the rest of us, and to those that matter to you? Don't forget that if there is a crash, afterwards, you then investigate what happened so you can respond appropriately to the driver, if it's the driver's fault, or in the situation, or whatever it is, and use that as a stepping stone for the next time that the person's on the road, or the next time and your company has a problem there. But there's steps you can take that you can make a difference. There's steps you can take, you can save lives.